actually headed to the coffee shop right now, going to prepare for a meeting that I have later today at about 11 o'clock. It's going to be the first meeting that I have with a local agency here in Allentown. Usually, agencies that I work with are not here locally, mainly spread out throughout the Mid-Atlantic. But today is the first time I'm meeting in person with an agency that, we're going to have a conversation, discussion about what are they seeing from an AI perspective. How do they plan on harnessing AI within their capabilities? So, about to go in here, get some coffee, and stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'll let you know how it goes. So, finished up the meeting about an hour or so ago, and it went pretty well. I think it went really well. When you go into these meetings, you don't know what to expect because in a lot of ways, agencies, they have different ways of operating, but at the same time, they're generally the same in terms of how they're structured. So when I went into the meeting, I was, just kind of like very sober about it. I didn't have any expectations. I took, a posture of like just wanting to understand, like wanting to learn what they're seeing inside of their agency, what they were seeing even at a macro level on, how they think about the future of these creative agencies, marketing agencies, and it was great to see that we aligned on a lot of different areas. Specifically, what we're building, as a technology company that's looking to help agencies harness their AI capabilities. It really, he was really able to see what we were building without me having to really say much about it. He conceptually saw it, and I didn't have to pull out my deck to show him our architecture and what we're building towards. I didn't have to do that, which was a really good signal. I didn't have to over-explain myself. He kind of got it, and he saw it, and that was what I was looking for. That was the effect I was looking for to walk out of that meeting with. It's all about learning, because what it lets me see is that we are on the right track. When you're positioned to create and capture value before the rest of the market sees it, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for that signal. The way I described it was like, after I shared my story and how I came to this place, working at an investment firm where we raised $168 million, and I was able to talk to these SaaS founders, software founders who were building out of agencies. And I saw the wind changing, where agencies have become very sexy to the capital markets because of AI, because now they can scale without adding headcount. And without getting into the weeds with that, it was very clear to me that, the rest of the market was is opening up. Another takeaway is we spent a lot of time on the front end really dialing in who our ICP, who's the ideal client for what we're offering. And as we started talking, it was pretty, I don't want to say magical, that's a weird way of saying it, but it was interesting that when he was describing the profile of the agency, it was almost to the T exactly who we're looking to talk to, down to the age of the founder, the size of the company. We even pointed out what the founder eats for breakfast. Like, we really got into the details on what would be an ideal profile of someone we would be able to partner with and really bring this transformation to. So that's that. Like I said, I think it went really well. I'm actually working on the email. I'm going to send an email out to him now so that, he has a case study. Yeah, so I'm sending him a case study. We did do a build, which was kind of like a pilot build that allowed us and gave us the confidence to get into what we're building now. And it's interesting that when I first started this process, the more and more I'm starting to see what we're doing as a technology company. I never saw it like that before, but that's what we're doing. We're actually a technology company that's partnering with these agencies to build this harness to really get the most out of it. So with that said, I'm going to finish up this email and get to the next thing, so stay tuned. So I had to change my location. It was so beautiful outside. I'm sitting here, I'm at the Moxie Hotel, one of my many locations where I set up shop. And I'm sitting like it's like a courtyard, and it's very, very chill here. There's a few people out here working right now. And it's a really good vibe. So I decided to come back here. What I'm working on now is just really, once I'm starting to see the profile of the people that we want to talk to every single day. And what I'm doing right now, I'm actually going into our database and researching and pulling out that profile, which fit in the conversation that we had today, which is a marketing agency that's doing anywhere between $5 to $25 million, team of 40 to 75 people, focus on areas like life sciences or technology or even healthcare, clientele. So now that these, now it's starting to surface. Now what I'm doing right now is I have the idea of the parameters that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go into our database. We have a list of about 10 to 20,000 agencies right now. So what I'm doing is breaking down that list, looking at the Mid-Atlantic area, and then like really focusing on who are the top, let's say 25 agencies in the Mid-Atlantic that I want to talk to, that I want to learn from, to continue the conversation, because I really think, like I said, it's bubbling. It's bubbling. And one of the things that I explained in the last meeting, I said, what we're tapping into is what most agency leaders are feeling in their gut, but they don't have the language to actually articulate what they're feeling in their gut. And that's what we do. What we do is we come and we articulate the thing that they feel in their gut, but they don't have the words for it yet, because things are still fragmented. Things are still emerging and taking shape. So that's what I'm going to spend the next 15, 20 minutes. Oh man, I have to pick my daughter up. I thought I was going to spend at least 20 minutes, but it's not going to be that. I have to pick my daughter up in 15 minutes. So scratch that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick her up. Then I'm going to come back to this. How's school?
Good.
What was good about it?
I went to art class and I made these.
Oh wow, those are pretty cool.
This one is a dumpling.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna make this into a balloon so I can squish it. So it's my squishy.
Cool. So what are you doing next after this?
I'm doing after this. I'm going inside the house. And then I'm gonna do gymnastics.
All right. Well, we'll see you soon.
Take coming.
All right. I dropped my daughter off at the house, so I'm back here at the Moxie. So what I'm doing now is I've found this really good article. I was on LinkedIn and I saw somebody share this really good article about AI. The name of the article is AI is the Means, Not the Mission, and it's by the Agency Management Institute. So what really stuck out to me about the article is one of the things that, as I'm talking to agency owners, I try to be very, very intentional that AI is not the point. And that's what this article, I'll share a little bit more about what the article says, but AI is not the point. And the way, the meeting that I had this morning, the way he described it as AI bros, they promise all these different things and they lead with AI. And that's one of the things that we don't do. We don't lead with, okay, we're AI. No, it's not about that. It's really about it being the means, not the mission. Exactly. And some of the things that he's saying in the article is, I'll give you a couple of things. It says, stop leading with the tool. Start leading with the outcome. One of the outcomes that we lead with is the valuation. So there's two passive outcomes. They're either looking to increase their exit multiple by creating this agentic layer to their company, to harness, use AI to harness their capabilities, or they're looking to increase their enterprise value, meaning that they're looking to make the company value. They may want to stay in the company, but make it more valuable and being able to make those adjustments. So one of the things that we do, we lead with that. We don't lead with the tool. We lead with the problem, where the problems really lie. So for instance, we look at the margin architecture. So we're really drilling in how do you architect your margin to make sure you're getting the best margins? Then we look at the IP defensibility, so that they understand they've been cultivating this IP for maybe decades. How do they make a defensibility harnessing AI? How do they make it defensible? And then platform positioning, where now that they have this, how do they position themselves as more of a platform than just a services company? So that's kind of the lens we look at it through, and then we add the other lens of the M&A lens that really ties to that valuation. Another thing it says here, become their guide, not their geek. One of the things that, I do my best in doing is being a guide and really, having a posture where we're all learning together. No one has the playbook. If someone had the pure playbook on how this all works, there'll be trillionaires. But that's not the case. We're all learning together. So what I like to do is to make sure that, it's really clear that I'm here to learn. I'm here to see, how we can serve you, What's some other things it said? Another thing in the article, it talks about when an agency has a client, what is the client's sentiment towards AI? Because there's clients out there that agencies are serving that they have mixed feelings. And according to the article, about a third of them don't want you to be using AI with their things because, they want to make sure their data is protected. So it talks about, where's it at here? Because what happens is it becomes a trust issue. So what clients are really looking for is, if you're using AI, let us know, let's keep each other accountable, and then explain to them what it is that's going on. So transparency is really critical. So I'm going to take some time. I have about an hour or so. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to write this article, and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn shortly. All right. So I just pressed enter to publish the article. Already getting a little bit of response from it. So you want to check it out on LinkedIn. Just search Tremayne Tatum in the search bar, and it'll come up. It'll be the first post. But I'm done for today, and thanks for following along. Peace.